Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, we have another ship entering the Carnival fleet from another Carnival fleet. We also have a person who was detained in St. Lucia for an item that he was carrying around in his backpack. We have some pretty good news coming from Australia and New Zealand for those people who are worried about their cruise ship not being allowed to get over to New Zealand because of the biofoul protection that they have going on out there. And then we just have some overall interesting news because it's getting harder and harder to find some empty cruise ship cabins. Today's video is brought to you by Private Internet Access. So people often ask me, Dom, what's your biggest fear when cruising? Is it that you're going to miss the ship? Is it that you're going to get sick? Is it that rough seas? What's your biggest fear when you're cruising? In all honesty, my biggest fear is getting a phone call from the front desk saying, hey, something's wrong with your credit card and it's not going through. And then when I call my credit card to find out, I've been hacked because somebody hacked into my computer and my bank account records. That's why I use a VPN. A VPN hides all your information from people looking to steal your banking information, your personal information, any kind of information. It hides you, it makes it look like you're in another country, in another place, and it makes it almost impossible for them to track your private information back to them. That's why I use a VPN, for security, because that is my biggest fear. Now, why did I choose private internet access? Well, they have what they call a no-log policy, which means they store none of my personal information, which is exactly what I want. That's what I'm trying to avoid anybody having, is my personal information. And also, they let me cover not one device, not two devices, not 5 devices, but unlimited devices with my same plan. That's why I chose private internet access. So why not use my link below to get up to 83% off your subscription plus 4 months free. Then you can travel with peace of mind like I do. Thank you again to Private Internet Access for sponsoring this video. So on Sunday, a man was walking around in St. Lucia and he was, he got stopped by police and searched, and lo and behold, in his backpack, he had a firearm walking around St. Lucia from a guy on a cruise ship. Now, it's not known if he snuck this onto the cruise ship. It's not known if he got it in St. Lucia. None of that is known yet. Now, the man did produce a firearm license. Trouble is, it was expired. Second of all, an American firearm license isn't good in St. Lucia. So what's really interesting to me about this story is, so far it says the man was returned to the cruise ship. Now, he's lucky there, because he could have been detained for carrying around an unauthorized firearm in a foreign country and have to see a judge and miss the ship and stuck in St. Lucia. However, they did escort him back to the ship, put him on the ship. They're not saying what ship this was, what cruise ship this was. They did say they are going to review the licensing that this gentleman had, and if everything is okay in there, they will send the firearm back to the owner. If things aren't right, though, they don't say what will happen to them. Will they issue a warrant? Will they ban them from the country forever? Will the cruise ship be fined? Who knows? There's a lot of questions in this story that we're a little unsure of right now. Next, we also have Carnival Cruise Line getting another ship, except it's not really expanding the whole Carnival fleet because they took it from Costa. That's right, the Costa Firenze. Is that how you pronounce it? Firenze? The next Italian immersion ship. that they're going to bring out will now get ready. It's in dry dock, getting changed over with the new colors and everything. It's going to keep its Italian flair. It will draw inspiration from the Italian Riviera. Well, it does look pretty cool, I will admit. Like I looked at some of these Italian turnovers that Carnival was doing, and they had the one that looks like Venice with the gondola, and it does look very intriguing and does look beautiful. So I might have to head on down to New York and try and get on one of these. Well, this one though, however, we'll be heading out to the West Coast, and we'll be doing some 3 and 4 day sailings along, up to Mexico and along Catalina coast, or it might do some 6 or 7 day cruises where it will head up to Cabo and Mazatlan and places like that. So good news for Carnival, it's adding to its fleet. Costa is losing one, so it's not really expanding the whole Carnival Corporation fleet, but the last Italian version was certainly a big hit, and it's hard to actually get a cabin on board. So I think this is going to be another big hit, and hey, it's going to the West Coast. Gives you another option on the West Coast as a different type of cruise to do, which is always a good thing. Now, speaking of some good news for cruises, did you know that this year they have sold over 80% of the cabins on the cruise ships, the big 3: Royal Caribbean, Carnival, Norwegian fleet, not just their individual Carnival Corp or anything, or Royal Caribbean, their entire fleets, all the ship they own, 80% have already been sold for this year. That's how popular cruising is again. People just can't wait, and they say with the rising costs of land vacations and flights, that cruise alternatives, even though they've been going up, are still a better bargain and a better deal with more to do. For instance, your food is normally included. Yes, you can go to specialty restaurants, etc., but your basic dining room experience and buffets are all included and don't charge you anything extra. Plus, you get nightly entertainment every single night for free. It's a much, picture that, and then picture going on your typical all-inclusive, and that's all there, but those prices have really gone up as well. I just priced out another Jamaica trip that I just did last year. The exact same one has gone up 40% since last year. The exact same month, the exact same place, time, and room. Just to give you an idea how much prices are going up. So good news for the cruising industry, bad news for us in a way, because if there's a lot of, not very much cabins left out there, there's not many deals to be had for us. We're gonna have a harder time to find cheaper cruises. Yeah, not great for the consumer, but great for the industry as a whole. And finally, let's talk about Australia, New Zealand. Remember last year there were a ton of ships that got stopped from entering New Zealand waters because of their fouled up hulls. Too much bio stuff on their hulls. Well, we were wondering if that's going to happen again this year, and so far there's been only apparently one cruise ship that wasn't able to get through because it couldn't, too rough a seas, wasn't able to get in, and there were 3 more that were detained that had to clean up the hull and everything before entering, but they did eventually enter. Much better than last year when they turned them away left and right, it seemed, all over the place. So it's good news for people heading to New Zealand that seems to have been solved. Cruise lines are ready for it. Cruise lines have been preparing for it. And thankfully, only one has missed that target because they just couldn't get anyone to clean their hull because of the rough seas at that time. So that's a little bit of good news. Well, I hope you appreciate this quick update. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.